Hey, Wazza, how you going?
Hey, Patto, good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Really good. I reckon we've got another big show on the Aussie Backyard Beat this week.
Looks like it.
Yeah,
Think so.
yeah. So we've got results from Sydney's to look at, as well as results from GV, and we've got Garden City Backyard Ultra to preview as well. Shall we look at the results from Sydney's first?
Yeah, we can do that. No problems.
Um, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there for as much of it as I could be. I was there for the start and the end, which were the crucial parts, I guess. But yeah, there was a large section in the middle I wasn't able to be there for, but I thoroughly enjoyed getting to be there for what I could be.
Yeah, awesome. And what stands out to you about, I mean, the thing that stands out to me about the results is that every single runner who did 24 hours or more ran a PB.
Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
100%. It's pretty massive. Like, we couldn't believe, yeah, every single one who managed to do 24 or more. Yeah. And on top of that, they had 62 runners actually get 24 yards done, which is more than they had in April. They had 41 get 24 yards done in April. So, another 50% again this time around. The
Mm.
only event in Australia that's had a higher number than that is Dead Cow Gully, which had 84. So they're not too far from Dead Cow, only 20 behind that. And I'm pretty sure, I think we calculated at the time that 84 was the world record for a number of runners getting to 24 in an event. 62 has to be a close second. I don't know globally
Mm.
how many other massive events would have 62 running after a complete day, but I think Sydney's now has, if they didn't already have second place with 41, they've definitely got it with 62.
Yeah, not including Biggs, of course.
But Biggs only has 75 starters,
Ah, yes.
so they'll never beat Dead Cow.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't believe they've had 62 get through the first day. There's usually a handful of, a dozen that kind of drop out. I have to confirm that for the 23 bigs, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, they
Right, okay.
didn't have that many come up
We can double check, but I think only about two or three runners dropped.
in the first day.
Yeah, at Biggs 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, you might be right.
Um, yeah, I remember that Indian fellow fell over after a few yards.
Yeah.
And there might have been the Brazilian bloke as well who dropped early, but apart from that, it might have been about it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, yeah. Kartik Joshi at 9, Fabrice Pod at 10, and Renee from Brazil was at 23.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then the next was Van from Vietnam, who did 24. Everyone else was 25 and above. So yeah, 72, if there were 75 starters, which there were, 72 got to 24.
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. Biggs has second place. I'd say Sydney's probably now has third.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Now, this one might put you on the spot. I just thought of it then.
Yeah.
How many of the runners who did 24 or more ran their first backyard ultra?
Yeah, I actually did look at that number earlier. I wrote it down. Where did I write it down? Yes, so there were so no, of the 24 or more runners, only 21 of those had actually done 24 before that. So 21 of the 62 had never had done that before. We had 2, 4, 6, 10, 13, 14, 15, 22 did it on their first backyard.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Put me on the spot. I had to count them. Yeah, 22 in their first backyard did 24 or more yards, which is, yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah. Now the last one standing, Ezra Dingo. It sounds like he
Yeah.
was impressive. His slowest yard was 50 minutes and 6 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked good from the start. I spoke to him before the start and even a couple of days beforehand, and he was, it's who I had my money on. He was, yeah, very, very keen to get high numbers in this event. And yeah, on the day itself, he looked phenomenal. He looked really good. Even on his last two laps were his fastest two of the day.
Yeah.
His last lap was his fastest, but the one prior to that, he did a quick lap. And I think at that point, he was expecting John Berry not to finish that lap.
Right.
And so he'd gone out doing a quick one, thinking it was the last lap. And so he had, yeah, some 26 minutes or something
Right.
before the next yard had to start. It was something really high.
Yeah.
And yeah, he went out on the next one, doing another fast one, past us about 2.5 Ks in, going, "Oh, guys, I think I've messed up my lap times," because he's at this point going, "Maybe I've done a couple too many fast ones." But I think he had heaps left in the tank. The
Yeah.
guy the guy could probably have kept going at least until the next day.
Yeah. Awesome. He's
Yeah.
improving so much every
Yeah.
backyard. Like, have you got his stats right there in front of you?
Yeah, so well, he got his PB on this one by 14 yards, which is pretty massive over his previous of 40.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big jump. Prior to that, yeah, he'd only done one prior to that where he did 16 at his first.
Yeah.
So he's done three Sydneys now. October 24, which is 16 yards. April 25, which was 40 yards. And now September 25, where he's done 54.
Yeah. Awesome.
And was aiming for, I believe he was aiming to try and get, if not onto the team, at least very close to getting onto the
Yeah.
Sachats.
Well, he must have pulled up all right because I know for a fact he's running at Reds later this month.
Okay, all right. I also knew that fact, but I wasn't sure if it was common knowledge yet. So,
Yeah. No, I asked him for permission to say that. He said, "Yeah, that's
okay,
yeah,
great. All right, that's an
yeah,
exclusive here on the program then, because there's
yeah,
only a handful of people that know that information yet.
yeah,
Um, all right. Yes, he will be running at Reds, and with the new lineup for Reds, I think he's got some good challenge, and he could be potentially pushed to a much higher number.
yeah. I mean,
As long as he can recover in over the next 3 weeks.
yeah,
He's had a couple, but he's got, yeah, a couple more to go.
yeah. Well, apart from Jashi not being at Reds on the 25th, I reckon it's
Yep.
probably a stronger field than it would have been at the one that was cancelled.
100%. And yeah, it is. Jashi being out of it is obviously uh, is what it is. But yeah, the names that have come on board, and Reds have announced a couple of them over the last couple of days as well. So we've got Nachi coming in, Tammy Wickham will be there. Daryl Tollett has signed on as well. He announced that himself on the Crow's Nest podcast a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, there's a fair few big names who will be part of the event that weren't previously. And I think, yeah, having Ezra now on board makes the fourth. Actually, Ollie Sheeky will be there as well.
Oh yeah,
So there's at least four runners who have won a backyard previously.
yeah. Well, Ollie
We've
will be fired
swapped
up.
out Jashi
Yeah.
for four others.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Ollie will be fired up because his father did 48 at Sydney's and he wants to beat his
Yes, which
father.
we're
So you can count on him going beyond 48.
Yep. And while we're talking about Ollie, he the weekend after, so the after Sydney's, he actually went and did a run himself. South Sydney, yeah, 24-hour whatever track event. He ran the 6 hour event, and he broke the world record. Sorry, the Australian record for distance covered in 6 hours for a 20 to 24-year-old male.
Yeah, he's a gun. Do you know what
Don't
distance
have the
he
actual
ran?
figure here, but
Oh, that's
I
all
don't
right.
have the actual figure on hand. I can quickly look it up. But yeah, he broke the previous record by about 300 meters.
Yeah,
Uh,
cool. John,
6 hours. So he did 70. I'm just trying to remember without looking it up. It was 75 kilometers was the record, and I think he's just set it at 75.3.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Um, John Berry, the assist, he keeps
Yes.
on improving too. Like I follow him on social media, and I love the
Yep.
way he finds time to train while balancing a young family as well.
Yeah. His whole family were at Sydney's too for most of the event. Um, the lap's finished, and the kids would be standing there cheering him over the line. And first thing he'd do is they'd walk straight up, grab his hand, and walk into his gazebo. And yeah, those kids were great. But yeah, dude's doing really well as well. He looked fantastic for the whole event up until he didn't.
Yeah,
And yeah, his 53rd yard just, yeah, you can see it in his lap times. He dropped from where he was running to 56.5 minutes for that final lap.
Mm.
And we're at that point where we've, like I said, Ezra may have already assumed he wasn't going to finish the yard, but we were counting down the clock, and he came in and he looked okay, but he at that point spoke to the medics and said he was starting to feel a bit dizzy, and I think it just at that point the body went, we're done at this point.
Yeah.
He started the next lap, went out with the medic tailing him, just to keep an eye on him. A few of us went around the course just to keep an eye on him. He did have a little bit of a fall coming out of the shed on the course, which is quite a steep bit of soft sand.
Mm.
Got up and kept moving, but I think about a kilometre later, they just made the right decision to say no. He probably wasn't going to get around for that lap, but B, he was unfortunately done for the day, for the time being.
Well, it
So
sounds like he finished it the right way. He definitely
yeah,
found his limit. Um,
certainly did.
Now, a big improvement, Josh Graham, 24 to 42.
That's right. Yeah, another massive result.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these guys just, yeah, crushing their previous PBs.
Yeah. Anything else stand out to you about the race?
Um, yeah, it was kind of as we said, it was a massive event. They had 455 starters. The record that Sydney set in April was 473, so there were only 18 short of that record. So another massive crowd for Sydney's. But it was kind of as we said, there were a great deal of mid-range yard numbers,
Mm.
and that pretty much panned out exactly as we expected. But yeah, to get 62 at 24 yards is massive. Um, what else did I have? I had obviously, yeah, we had four runners who we mentioned people who debuted and got 24 plus yards, but there are actually four runners who debuted and got 30 yards or more, which I was
Wow.
quite impressed with.
Yeah.
One of those was Crystal Ledesma, who did 32 yards in her first backyard ultra. She basically only, looking at DUV and a couple of other things, looks like she only started running about 18 months ago.
Wow.
Um, but she's gone into a couple of events since she did UTA Miler
Yep.
this year as basically her first foray into an ultra,
Yeah.
which is a massive distance. But yeah, 32 on debut was pretty impressive.
Mm.
William Ratoza also had 32. And then we had Dylan Connor and Tyler Varty both finishing on 30 yards, which is, yeah, just impressive as well.
Yeah.
No, my biggest takeaway for the event was probably just that Ezra looked phenomenal, and I reckon he could have gone a lot further.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And considering he's backing up in just a few weeks, it just shows it like how well he did.
that's right. He's been working hard for this one, and obviously he wants to keep it going while he's still fully conditioned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. GV time?
Yeah, I just want to say, lastly, the only other obviously worth mentioning is the women at Sydney's. Claire Palmer had a 4 yard PB to take out the top performing female. She's now on a PB of 34.
Yeah.
Crystal at 32 that we just mentioned, and Beck Myers, who's run a few events that I've seen as well. She's been pretty good. She PB by 1 yard to hit a 27 yard PB. So
Awesome.
that's your top three females at Sydney's this year.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. GV time?
Yep, sure.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so I mean, I don't know what vibes you were getting from home, but this one was an absolute backyard classic.
It looked at it looked at going into it, just as we covered last week, the crowd of entrants.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to be a fun event, but B, a classic, a good event, but also one that, yeah, would come down to the wire.
Yeah. So what are your takeaways when looking at the results?
Oh, look, I you can't go past Matty Doob. Look, the guy has now done four back to back GV victories.
Yeah.
Each time just pushing that bit further as well. It was a new PB for him, 3 yards, I believe, as well, taking away the silver ticket. You can't go past that. That is a phenomenal result. No one else in Australia has won four of the same event.
Hmm.
And that's got to be getting harder and harder to do these days, but especially in a silver ticket event where there's just so many people interested in getting that result.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, obviously the assist to now. Forgive me if I get the pronunciation of his name wrong. I believe it's Rock and Roll Joel Sexbomb Sexton.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. Um, Brand new PB for him as well, pushing out 8 yard PB. And now he's back in the alternate list for Sat Champs as well. For anyone watching that isn't sure what that means, with the Sat Champs, obviously we have our 5 silver ticket winners. Then the next 10 positions are what we call the at-large list, and they are the top 10 performances within the 2 year qualifying period. And then we've got below them is another 5 runners who are called alternates. And basically, they're in if someone else is out on the day for sickness or something else. Or, these things happen that people can't make an event. But Joel's right up there back in the alternate list. So he's still got a good chance of getting to Sat Champs
Yeah.
at the moment, assuming nothing else changes over the course of 12 months.
Yeah.
He was in the list previously, but he got knocked out post the massive results of Dead Cow Gully. So yeah, great to see him back in with a brand new PB of 8 yards as well. So
Yeah. It
yeah.
was actually a 1 yard PB because he ran 58 at No Time to Die 2 years ago behind Johan when Johan ran 59.
Oh, of course he did. I don't know why I've written 8 yards.
But
That's my mistake. Yes, of course he did that. Yeah.
now I was going to also say we did talk about what the highest last one standing result at a silver ticket race in Australia was,
Yeah.
and this is actually it now. Doob's winning with 60.
It is for someone to take the silver. The
Yeah.
only other event that was Clint Eastwood last year, which was a 72-yard finish for Ryan and Jimmy B. But obviously they equal assisted at that event and neither took the ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, certainly, yeah, throw this one on Dude's
Yeah.
achievement list for the weekend, and it's one more massive achievement for him.
Yeah, so I mentioned it on my podcast as well with Doobs. He was the first
Yeah,
Victorian to break 40
yeah,
in Victoria, first to break 50 in Victoria, and now for the then only to break 60. And I'm not including the Sat Champs in
no,
that statistic.
yeah.
I
And
know.
so he's targeting 70 for his next event.
Well, look, he's definitely capable, and I knew he was good. Like I knew he was good, and I knew he could do what he did. But he's even better than I thought. I think he's something special, and I reckon he can definitely go on to like break 100. I reckon in the future.
Yeah.
I really do think that he's that good. He is that good.
Right. The
Yeah,
test is whether he's going to go 70, 80, 90, 100, or if he's just going to go straight to it.
yeah. Well, it sounds like his next. He might run it. I think he might run it wild dog, but only run like like cap is the number of yards he does. But I can't wait to see what he does at Sat Champs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
cannot wait.
He's in that very fortunate position that he's actually the only person on the team now that is guaranteed a seat.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a few at the top end of the yard counts that are very, very unlikely to be beaten. Who knows what's going to happen in a year, though? That 119 of Phil Gore might not be the top of the list by this time next year. But yeah, he's in that very, very fortunate position. He's now got a year to train. He's got a year to look at other events, do what he needs to do to get himself ready for Sat Champs. And yeah, hopefully that's something that yeah, he takes his time to do and concentrates on properly when he gets close to the event. And I think he's got massive potential as well.
Yeah. So I've been running backyards with him for a few years now, and look, I
Yeah.
might be wrong, but as far as looking, he looks like he's enjoying it more than ever as well. Like I might be wrong, but it really does look like he's loving it out there. Now you mentioned rock and roll Joel Sex Bomb Sexton. Like it was awesome to see
Yeah.
him bounce back. It was a little. He ran 50 at the Sat Champs, and it was really great to see him run a new PB, like you said.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, well, Luke Slater, he was another runner who keeps on proving. 52
Yeah,
yards,
yeah.
coached by Sam Harvey. That was a
Yes, of course he is. Is that a 2 yard PB for him, was it?
no, I think it was about
I had it as 9. I thought you just said
yeah,
2.
yeah, 9 cents
Yeah,
about. He ran
yeah,
four. I think he ran 41 or 42 at Dead Cow Gully.
yeah. 41 at dead count. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and prior to that, yeah, it was 34 in Melbourne and 24 at MV, sorry, 28 at last year's GB.
yeah,
So he's gone from 28 to now, yeah, 24 yards over the past year alone
yeah,
in terms of stepping up, which is, yeah, pretty massive.
yeah,
And yeah, I'd love to see what more he's got in the tank.
yeah. Well, he's actually UK, so he's
Yeah.
trying to make the UK Sat Champs team. And that 52 should qualify him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yes.
Yeah. So that will be fun if he goes over and runs in that race next year. That will be fun to follow.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Scott Cameron broke 50 for the first time.
That's right. 1 yard PB. He had 49 at No Time to Die earlier this year. So that just getting that one extra might have taken 2 days to get to that point, but yeah, just put one more on the count is it's got to be massive. Got to be excited with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. What else can you tell me about the stats?
Yeah, the other interesting ones that I found was is Sean Salmon was there on his debut. He did a 37
Yeah,
for his
he looked
debut
good.
run, which is yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
And Jack Hanley, who I mentioned in last week or last episode, who I was very impressed with, he went on to do 33 yards,
yeah,
which again is just phenomenal. I know he's got another massive event planned for the end of the year that he's working towards, but yeah, to come in with a 33 on your first backyard ultra is pretty phenomenal.
yeah,
There were five other debutants that all got to 24 yards as well.
yeah. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. The
Yeah,
other the other big news I think was we have to celebrate is Ollie Kaprizak.
yeah,
Um, 2 yard PB, absolutely phenomenal. He's actually PB'd in every single backyard ultra he's entered.
yeah.
Every single one has just been gradual improvement. I'm actually pretty sure he turned 17 yesterday.
Ooh.
So if I've got his actual date of birth right, happy birthday, Ollie. Um, but yeah, that means he was still 16 when he set this record. And yeah, so to be 16 years old and have done 36 yards in a backyard ultra,
Yeah.
I mean, we all believe it's the world record for under 18, but I don't know if that's actually been ratified by LAS or anything. But
No, I'd be surprised if anyone's done more than that at his age. But
I've
it's
done
hard.
some research and I haven't found anyone that's been close. I found a guy in the States, but yeah, he has certainly not got that close.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I was thinking like in 20 years, he won't even be 40 yet. Like in 20
Yeah.
years, he'll be 37,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is
Yes.
almost 10 years younger than I am now.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
and and yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. If he's just getting started, who knows?
Yeah.
But like, 36 is massive for a 16-year-old. And if he can do that and put on, another 10 years of experience under his belt,
Mm.
that he's the Phil Gore of the future.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Farms ran a new PB. He did 38
Yep.
yards. He tied my PB. So we're even
Yes.
now. Me and Farms.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a 2 yard PB for him, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did it tough. He did it with like a pretty bad um, Achilles injury. Like he did it early in the race, and he just kept plugging away,
Yeah.
running slow loops. It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Um, other great performances again by the women. Yuko Sato on 32 yards. That's another 2 yard PB for her. She's basically PB'd at pretty much every event she's done as well. Nancy Williams for 31 yards. That's a 1 yard PB there as well.
And she
And a
was so
little,
tough.
yep,
Nancy was really tough. She was like um, doing her last few loops all on her own. She was running at a bit of a slower pace than the rest, and
Yeah,
guys, she was impressive. She did it so. She was so good.
that's great. Yeah. And then a little bit further behind, Stacey Simons
Oh
was
yeah,
on 24. That's
yeah.
a 6 yard PB for her.
Yeah, and she was awesome too. She wanted it so bad, like you could just tell.
To
Like,
get that 24 is a
yeah,
massive, massive milestone.
yeah,
Yeah.
she worked hard. She ran at Two Rivers as well. So yeah, she's really, she obviously was really determined to get that 24, and I was really happy for her that she did that. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Any other stories that you've got from the event yourself? Obviously, you were there. You got it a bit more on the ground than I did.
Yeah, well, I did 30 yards. I mean, it was an awesome race to be at. I didn't do quite as many as I wanted, but
Yep.
look, it's all a bit hazy now. I don't really remember all that much from it anymore. I mean, my memories, the first 24 hours went pretty well, and then after that, it went a little. I deteriorated quite quickly after 24, and I think it's just I just didn't properly maintain my nutrition. I just didn't have enough. Just didn't fuel properly after that, and it kind of like
Yep.
spiraled out of control. And but yeah, it was still a great. I look, I had the best time. It was a great race, and I stuck around till pretty much the end as well. So it was awesome just being there and watching it all unfold.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Yuko as well. That 32, she ran that sets a female North Vic record.
Yes. Yes. Very true.
Yeah. Um, Garden City Backyard Ultra this weekend.
Yep. Yes. So that's our next big event for the calendar. So
Yeah,
yes, that's coming up this Saturday at 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. This is up in Toowoomba in Queensland. Yeah, so we're back in Queensland again this week after after a big weekend elsewhere.
yeah,
But yeah, it seems Queensland seems to have just a lot of events, and they're all around this time of year. So
yeah. And they all get massive fields too.
yeah, yeah, they do. This one's got 195 starters. I think it was capped at 200.
Yeah,
But yeah, it looks like there were 195 on the list when I saw it the other day.
yeah.
Um, of those 195, 50 have run a backyard ultra before, so that's 145 first timers. So
Awesome.
a pretty massive new field. But it's actually it's quite an interesting event. I've been chatting to them in the last few days there about it. There's actually a massive contingency entering this event from the 7th Signal Regiment.
Oh,
Now, this is a division of the army, and they're based not too far out of Toowoomba. They were actually looking at putting on a backyard style event in the Toowoomba showgrounds themselves as
yeah,
part of a training exercise for them and their crew. But the showgrounds actually put them in touch with Garden City and suggested that they join in the much larger event. So it's yeah, quite a cool initiative that they're stepping in. They're going to also be helping with setup, marshalling, volunteering throughout the event, packing up afterwards. But they've got 55 runners in the event. So
that's all.
it's the biggest team we've ever seen in a backyard ultra in Australia. Whether or not they're going to be working as a core in this event will be very interesting. But yeah, 1/4 at least of the runners will be from this regiment.
Yeah, that's unreal. If I was one of them, I would be going for as long as I possibly could. So I've got an excuse not to help pack up at the end.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a big test to see, how much impact these guys will have because they're obviously all going to be fit. They're all obviously going to have the endurance and things like that. But not a single one of them has done a backyard ultra before.
Yeah.
Looking at their names, I spotted one who I thought maybe, but we're pretty sure it's just a coincidence because he's got this identical name to someone who debuted at Sydney last week.
Ah,
So it's highly unlikely that they've gone debuted at Sydney and are then going to go and do another one 2 years later, 2 weeks later.
yeah.
But yeah, it looks like 55 of them, all brand new to the sport, brand new to the event, but likely are all quite fit and could give it a good run for its money.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Now I see last year's winner, Jaden McCormack, is back to defend his crown.
Yeah, and he is the I mean he has to be the outright favorite.
Hmm,
He won Garden City last year with 28 yards. But since then, Dead Cow Gully this year he put on 50. So he's got the biggest PB going into the event by 10 yards
yeah,
at this point. Yeah, he's
yeah.
Garden
Um,
City obviously winning 28. He obviously could have gone further at that point. He's proven that when he went to Dead Cow. What he can do with this event will be interesting to see.
yeah. Did you know he recently ran from Sydney to Brisbane and he broke the record?
Yes, yeah, that was yeah. He ran all that way, broke that record, but it yeah. Also considering it as a bit of a training run for this, I believe he was.
Oh, really? Yeah, so it was something like 960 kilometers in 10 days. So
Yeah,
it's almost 100 kilometers a day. So he's a young gun. He's a young gun.
yeah,
He's one for the
yeah,
future. I mean, and Sam Christie, he's back. Well,
yep.
he's there. He won his first and only backyard ultra at Gills Gallivant earlier this year.
That's right. Again, he won that one on 29 yards. So still relatively untested in terms of potential.
Hmm.
Definitely keen to see what he can do in this one. Yeah, very similar situation to Jaden, 28
Yeah.
for the win. He had 29 for the win.
Yeah.
Can he go 50? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I met him at Dead Cow Gully.
Yep.
He loves it. He was crewing for the White Kenyan, and
Oh, okay. Yep.
yeah. So I mean, I'd love to see him run a big race. Who else?
Good.
Anyone else running that stands out?
Yeah, there are a few. We've got Chris Van Leer will be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's done 6 events, all of which have been 30 yards or more. Other than his debut, which was 25, still
Yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah.
His current PB is 40.
Yeah.
So he's the next highest PB going into the event. So
Yeah.
40 for him, and then yeah, 50 for Jaden. Um, Kyle McClendon will be there. He's got a PB of 32, which he set at Dead Cow this year. He's done a handful of, sorry, at Dead Cow 2023, he set that PB of 32. He's done a handful of events since then. He did 26 at Dead Cow this year.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a good field.
yeah, there's a few others worth mentioning. Michael O'Donoghue will be there. He did 11 at Garden City last year, and then Dead Cow this year 31.
Yeah.
So again, another big jump at Dead Cow. 31 would have been enough to win Garden City last year. So let's see. Hopefully he's got the legs in him to do it this year.
Yeah.
Sam Christie, as we mentioned, on 29 yards. Sorry, 29 yards is his PB. Zach Bauer's got 27.
Oh
He
yeah.
was the assist at Garden City last year with 27.
Yep.
He did 21 at Dead Cow this year as well to follow on. Then we've got Paul Jones on 25. He's done 9 events in total, so he's been around a few. All tend to result in the mid 20s,
Yep.
so 25-ish. Then we've got Sam Barnes on 24, which he did debut at Dead Cow last year, and he's done 3 decent results since then. So quite a few big names or big entrants. And for the women, the highest PBs for women who have done an event so far is Amanda Hitchner on 12 yards, which she did at Dead Cow this year. She did 8 at Garden City last year. And then we've got Susan Jacks, who did 10 at Dead Cow this year as well. And Janet Smith, who was on debut at Gills and did 10 yards. So
Yep.
keen to see what each of them can do and see how the women go in this one to get some higher numbers as well.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean,
on top of that, sorry, John the RD at Garden City's also mentioned a handful of other runners. I won't go into their names, but there's a bunch of other runners who will be debuting in this event, but they've all got really decent point-to-point ultras
okay.
under their belts. So yeah, there's going to be a fair few people coming into this event which I don't are unheard of,
Yeah.
but from a backyard ultra standpoint, they're unheard of.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of potential in the unknowns this year, not just from the army guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing with this race is that the heat makes it a tough one.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, these runners are all from Queensland, so they're used to running in the heat. And I mean, there's some
Yeah.
pretty. Initially, I thought maybe between 34 and 38 yards, but now you've
Yeah.
told me who else is there. It could even go higher than that. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. You said 34 to 30, 38. I'd written 35 to 40.
Okay.
So that's, yeah, I'm keen to see how it goes, and I'm keen to see how the Seven Signal Regiment guys, impact the event in terms of yard numbers. But I think 35 to 40 is probably going to be pretty good as an estimate.
Yep.
Based on the PDs we've got so far, as you say, the bit of warmth this weekend as well, and just sort of generally, yeah, that's kind of the feel that I've got from this event.
Yeah, cool. Now I know that little Willie Sarah Wilson is doing the socials, so
Yes,
um, we should be getting a lot of good updates through their Instagram.
yes, that's right. So there's no live tracking for this event, but social media updates should be relatively regular throughout. And yeah, Sarah's on top of those, so
Yeah.
should be good.
Cool. Anything new on backyardultra.com.au?
No, no. Unfortunately, I've been flat out with work things over the last few weeks and family events. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I have been slowly working through a bunch of Strava data and things like that, and we've connected over 50% of runners and 50% of event results now are connected to Strava records that match them. It's helped a lot with differentiating runners who've got similar names, and even we've been able to identify a bunch of runners who have previously run under a maiden name and are now running under a married name. So where possible, I've merged profiles and made it a bit cleaner on that sort of data to try and give us some more accurate data that is otherwise, yeah, a shortfall of most of the results websites.
Yeah, that reminds me. Last episode we said that Rowan and Graham Cook were brothers, but we've since found out.
That's right. Yes, that would be entirely on me. Unfortunately, it's one of those things when I get a starter list with not a great deal of information, or I don't have a great deal of information on the previous runners, and I see a name like Rowan Cook, I go, oh, okay, that's a known name. He's going to be running at Sydney. But no, this was another runner called Rowan Cook who, yeah, just came in, a young guy, and I think he did fairly well. I think he got 15, 16 yards.
Oh yeah. Well, it was my fault. I was the one
15
who
yards, yeah.
yeah, I was the one who said that they were brothers, so it was my fault.
No, not at all. I'd already told you that this guy's PB was much higher than it was. He was on debut and he had a massive PB.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's unfortunately it's the nature of it. Now I have a little bit more information about both runners and including both their Strava records, which is how I immediately went, hang on, this isn't the same guy.
Yeah.
Then I flagged it with you and you said you'd already figured it out through Graham. So yeah, it's one of those things that slowly as we build the data behind the results,
Mm,
we're able to identify there's a bunch of runners who have similar or the same names.
mm.
Yeah, I'll tell you now, there's four people in Australia named Andrew Smith who have run a backyard ultra.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
quite interesting. It's not necessarily the John Smith you'd expect as the more common name, but yeah, Andrew Smith. We've got four different Andrew Smiths, and they've been there's one in Queensland, one in New South Wales, one in Victoria, one in West Australia.
And then of course, the results for GV and Sydney's are all up there too, so anyone can have a look at
Yep.
those.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and a lot of those have their Strava records attached already as well, and people have been sending those through to me as well. So
Oh, awesome. That's
yeah,
good.
that's been very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, yeah, all the results from all of our recent events are online.
Yeah. Now you did touch on the Australian at large list. I reckon
Yes.
let's just have a quick run through it. So we've got we've got the Dubinator with the one and only silver tickets so far.
Yep.
Phil Gore, John O'Ash, Ryan Crawford, Tim Kaprizak, James Blanton, Dan Carmack, Michael Bellman, Rob Parsons, Barry Keane, and Ben Nichols. Are you still there?
I am not sure what my internet just dropped out for a moment.
Yeah, it's really windy here, so I don't. That might have had
I
something.
think it was my end because I was trying to load a web page as well and it didn't come
Ah,
up. You
okay.
might need to just trim that section out. I lost you as let's take a look at the back at the at large list.
Yeah, well, yeah. I read all the runners from the Dubinator down to Benny Boy Nichols. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's where it stands at the moment. Holly Ranson's the first alternate with 61.
yep, yep. So the big difference on the list at the moment is that Maddie Doob moved from the alternate list up into the silver ticket section,
Yeah,
and Joel Sexton has basically taken his spot in the alternate list
yeah.
at 59 yards
Rock and
the
roll,
lead.
Joel Sexbomb Sexton.
Apologies, I've got his name wrong.
Now the Red have a course recce run this weekend. Are you going?
Yes, they do. And no, I'm not. No, I'd love to get down there. Unfortunately, it's a couple of hours drive or an hour and a half drive down for me, followed by an hour and a half drive back.
Oh, fair
Love
enough.
to do so. I've picked up a last minute ticket to another 180 cadence event that's on this weekend instead. I'll be running their Sydney Trail Marathon,
Oh, nice.
half marathon on the Monday. So yeah, that'll be my running event for the weekend instead.
Oh, very good. So you've got a long weekend there this weekend
Yes, it is. It's a long weekend. Yeah.
after the NRL Grand Final.
Yes, though we don't celebrate our long weekend as being the grand final weekend. It's just
Oh,
I think it's King's birthday.
oh, okay. But in Queensland they do, don't they? It's like the post Grand Final public holiday. That's what they call it in
Yeah,
Queensland.
something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So after this weekend, where the
Yes.
next Backyard Ultras on the 25th of October. So after Bigs, the
That's right.
time is going fast, was it?
It certainly is. It certainly is. So yeah, I don't know if you've got anything to update about Bigs at this point. I haven't heard much
Well,
running changes or anything, but
well, as far as the field goes, I don't have any. But on Monday morning, on the podcast. I'm
yeah,
doing a Bigs preview show, and on that it will be me. There'll be Dom from the UK,
yes.
and Ehor. The three of us will be previewing the field and giving our predictions. So I'm really excited for that.
That's super exciting. I'm keen to hear both their opinions as well as your own. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it will be cool. So so we mentioned the 25th of October, Smurfs and Reds are both on that weekend.
That's right. We'll be back up in Queensland with yet another event for Queensland. This time Smurfs is right up in Cairns, a little bit further north.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rescheduled Reds Backyard Ultra, which is happening down in Wollongong in New South Wales.
Yeah. Now people
Yeah.
tell me that Smurfs is one of the hardest backyard ultras in Australia, mainly due to the heat and humidity.
Yeah, that's the impression I get having spoken to a few people, including the run director, and I think heat is the number one concerning factor for it, and it is it's going to be a bit like that no matter what time of year it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, having it late October is already just that warmth is getting there.
Mm.
So yeah, they've had 34 was their first event in 2023. 34 yards was the best, and then 26 last year. Um, sorry, 2023 there was no winner. It was a double assist, Adam Fox and Reese Williams on 34, and then last year Adam Fox for 26. And yeah, I think last year's one was they said it was one of the hottest
Wow.
days as well. So yeah, to get to 26 yards is incredible.
Yeah, yeah, they're tough up there. They are
Yeah,
tough.
yeah.
Um,
Speaking of Smurfs, they do still have tickets available.
okay.
There is a final price rise happening, I think, Monday. So if anyone's out there still thinking about Smurfs, now's your time to do it. Yeah, tickets are still available. So
Yeah,
definitely
awesome.
worth jumping in if you can.
Yeah.
Reds, of course, is sold out. They do have a wait list. But I think it's one of those things. If you're interested in Reds and you've got a decent PB already, I think it's worth reaching out because they can very likely find a place for a few runners. Obviously, Ezra is one of those, and we'll see. Yeah, I think it's interesting to see who else might still get a ticket in the next few weeks.
Oh, have you heard some whispers?
Not officially, no, no, no. Yeah, I know a few others who have been reached out to and others who have expressed interest, but for a few of those, there's some travel involved. So whether or not they're keen, we will find out.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
All right, well, I guess we'll find out for sure next time we record an episode,
definitely.
and that would be good. Yeah. So next episode we'll be previewing Smurfs and Reds, and I
Yep,
guess we'll also talk about the results from Garden City.
that's right. We can do that as well, for sure.
Awesome. Awesome.
There's one other event coming up which I haven't got details on my website for yet. I'm still trying to reach out to them, but I'm going to throw another reach out message here. There is an unofficial backyard ultra happening up in Port Macquarie, New South Wales, on the next weekend, I believe, the 10th, Saturday the might be Saturday the 11th. I'm still trying to confirm, and I'll get some details up on my website if I can. But yeah, it's run and organised by the Port ED Runners Group. I've contacted them via Strava, so I'm hoping someone will get back to me soon. But yeah, they're looking at running a charity event up to 12 yards with donations going in at $5 per yard completed, which is a bargain $60 event if you can do all 12
Yeah,
yards. So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
I'll try and confirm some details and get that up on the website as an upcoming event.
Yep.
But yeah, just want to throw that one out there in case anyone's in that region. I
Nice.
know, yeah, I've spent a bit of time up that way, but I won't be able to get up there for that one myself.
Mm. All right, no worries. Well, have a great weekend and enjoy your half marathon on Monday.
It's not about enjoying it; it's just doing it.
Yeah, okay,
It'll be
okay.
a nice little training run on some trails. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
yeah. It'll be a good tune up for Reds in a few weeks.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I think so.
Very nice. All right,
Good.
no worries, Wazza. I'll speak to you later. Have a good one.
All right, no worries. Cheers.